is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today is a mini episode discussing Finding Mr. Christmas, episode 2. And can I get a ho, ho, ho? This is recorded on board the Hallmark Christmas cruise, mere moments after seeing one Jonathan Bennett in the wild.
Yeah, I have that video of him running down the stairs and dancing, so I will share it in our Facebook group. If you want to come over and see what it looks like, join our Girls Gone Hallmark Facebook group.
Spoiler alert, he does not disappoint, like fully brings the energy.
Totally leans into it.
Yeah, right choice for the host of the Hallmark cruise. As mentioned 1 million times, you can follow us on Instagram. We are Girls Gone Hallmark, and we are sharing the heck out of our trip. So take a listen over there. This is episode 2. Our goal is to make this a mini episode, so we're going to dive right in.
Okay.
It does start with the dudes rehashing the first competition.
Yes.
And we kind of jump right into the festive face-off challenge for this episode, which is the gift wrapping challenge.
Can you hear me rolling my eyes?
The short version is, it was rough.
These guys didn't know how to wrap anything.
Gage comes in hot and he's like, my mom was a professional gift wrapper and she taught me everything I know. That did not actually turn out to be true. The lie detector determined that is a lie.
The dude was struggling.
They all did, really. I was actually quite shocked with most of their inability to even wrap a box.
Yeah, so the challenge was they had to wrap one regular size gift box and then something that was kind of oddly shaped that's under the tree, but they had to pick that item and it needed to be like personal to them. So, you know, every reality show needs you need a story, right? Mm-hmm. So they had to pick like some guy, I can't remember their names right now, picked ice skates because it reminded him of a brother situation where he went ice skating, and then Parker grabbed a huge teddy bear. Huge, because it reminded him of his son. And I was like, think ahead. How are you going to wrap that?
Spoiler alert number 2, he does not.
He doesn't.
There's a sled. I mean, they picked really, I could just imagine the producers having a great time and like, what is the most outrageous Christmas item you can think of? Put it on set for these dudes to wrap.
Exactly.
I thought the funniest moment is while they're wrapping, Hayden is 100% clowning on Gage for being the worst,
right?
In spite of his like gift wrapping Nepo baby status. Hayden is still one of my faves.
Oh, I love him. Love him. Love him. So Melissa Peterman returns.
Indeed.
As the gift wrap judge. And I laughed so hard because at one point she says, were these guys drinking eggnog and blindfolded? Because she's not wrong. It was rough.
I really would have been interested to see them in person because I thought they were all terrible. I truly did not think any single person did a standout job. As mentioned, Parker just tied a ribbon around his teddy bear. And I thought that was a bold choice and it did not pay off.
It's lazy.
Lazy.
I know they only had 10 minutes too as well. And if you're not, you gotta always be thinking 2 steps ahead, don't you?
That teddy bear was bigger than he was. There was no chance anybody was going to wrap it effectively.
Pick something else, dude.
I thought Daxton really struggled, but Melissa Peterman did actually like his wrapping job. But we do have a winner.
Yes. Our winner was
Elijah.
That's right. I don't remember what he wrapped. A rocking horse? I don't know. I think David wrapped a rocking horse. Guys, I can't remember. As mentioned earlier, we're on the Hallmark cruise right now, and I had to take off my seasick patch because it was making me like very slow.
Could not finish a sentence. I quite literally made her take it off at breakfast this morning. Be aware that sometimes those patches do have some side effects.
Yeah. So back to the show. What I loved when Elijah was presenting his gift wrapped item, Jonathan asks him to sing a Christmas tune, right? And maybe it was Deck the Halls. I don't know. And then he's
I thought it was We Wish You a Merry Christmas.
I don't remember what it was, but he stopped and he's like, and that's all you get because then you got to pay for the rest. And Jonathan's reaction was, I loved it so much. He said, know your brand. And I was just like, I love you. I love you.
Yeah, you can't get that stuff for free, man. Got to pay for those Broadway tickets.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to take a quick break and come right back. So Elijah wins, and his reward in the next challenge, it's a photo shoot challenge. And it's out in the Yuletide yard, as they call it.
Yeah, it is a real throwback to America's Next Top Model to me here.
Is it?
Well, like you win the challenge, he gets 5 extra frames. That was very much Top Model. Like you had to do something really good in the challenge to get more time in front of the photographer. And especially if you're not a professional like me, I would go out there. I wouldn't know what I would be doing.
Yeah, so they only got 10 frames, and my mind was like, 10 frames? I take 10 frames when I'm taking a selfie of Wendy and I on a
Seriously.
recording day, and I'm not likely to get even one. So I was a little bit nervous. I do have to say, I really am digging the outdoor decor on this house.
I don't think I noticed.
It's just really nicely done. Big giant ornaments. It looks, go back and watch. It's really well done. So we have some guests joining this challenge.
Yeah, we do.
First up, our guest judge is one Tyler Hines.
Yeah, he delivers in this. He's like such a nice guy. I wish I could say that personally. Like I wish I could meet him, but he's tucked away on this boat somewhere.
Yeah, we have 2.5 more days, so cross your fingers. We also get Hallmark super fans Nikki and Vicky joining as guest judges.
I haven't seen Nikki and Vicky on this boat either. Are they really super fans?
I mean, can we get Megan and Wendy as guest judges on Fighting Mr. Christmas season 2?
Yes. We could come up. We could just pitch it. We could just pitch it to them. I think there's definitely going to be a season 2. I think they're going to have a Finding Mrs. Christmas too, I'm sure.
Oh.
But I would love to be like, yeah, Wendy and Megan and Wendy. We've seen it on Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders too when they have to talk to media. Like,
yes.
So we
and they bring in guest judges all the time.
We could be that. Please, JB Ears, can you hear us?
That's Jonathan Bennett for the
I call him JB. I call him JB now to everything.
All right. So they also have a third guest in their photos. They are not going to be photographing with Hallmark Starlet. Instead, they get puppies.
I almost died when these dogs came out.
And I really loved, they did not have just one puppy. They had multiple puppies. They had a golden retriever puppy. They had a Cavalier King Charles puppy. They had a Bernedoodle puppy and a Corgi puppy.
I know.
So cute.
You guys, I used to have a Corgi mix and I missed him a lot. And when I saw that Corgi on TV, I was like, I want another Corgi.
It was smart because one puppy would not have been able to handle all that stimulation. So they kept swapping them out.
I'm sure they had an animal protector person on set too.
Yeah. The amount of time they could be in use. And so the guys have the challenge of like not only taking nice photos and getting their angles and, making love to the camera, but they got to work with the puppy too. Yeah. And I don't know if y'all have met a puppy, but they're squiggly and squirmy and they have sharp teeth and they're not exactly great models. So
let's go through the lineup on the photos, how they did. First up was Blake.
Blake really wowed me.
Me too.
Like I mentioned this last episode, he's kind of like soft spoken and I always am worried that he like can't bring it. He brought it like out of the gate. He does this action shot, jumping off the rock, puppy in hands, nails the shot. I was like, Blake, well done.
Well done.
Nikki and Vicky do swoon when Blake takes his shirt off.
Oh, they were like, yeah, resident swooners. Someone else too was like, I think it was Ezra later on, takes his shirt off, and Nikki and Vicky were like, you can see that V.
You know what I'm talking about? Did they say that? Next up, we have Gage. Can I just tell you, Gage makes a comment, this smile, these eyes, I can't lose.
Did you want to barf?
I wasn't a fan.
I told JB in the DMs, I said, Gage is our villain, right? Question mark. He did not reply though.
Yeah,
but
wisely.
he definitely was replying and said like he would love if people were talking about the contestants. So, like in real reality TV shows where you're like rooting for
someone.
someone.
I want to be very clear. This is hitting all of the quote real reality TV show marks. It does not. Well, in some ways, I suppose it is like almost a parody of those shows. It doesn't feel like a joke. Like it is well done.
I agree. I think there's a lot of former reality shows, formulas that they have sprinkled into this one.
Effectively.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I have a comment about Gage.
Yeah.
Remember in the first episode where he had the front of his sweater untucked untucked and then his back was tucked in. Do you remember that?
No.
And Melissa Peterman like made fun of him a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He does it here again too. He's got like a flannel that's pulled out in the front, but it's all tucked in the
So
back.
we can see the butt?
Yes, but I will pass. I don't enjoy Gage as a contestant. I am not rooting for him.
It's not a look you're into?
Have you ever seen it?
No, I've never
Party
seen...
in the front, business in the back.
I've never seen a mullet tuck like that. Daxton's up next. Daxton makes a wise choice with the suspenders.
He looks great. So cute. It feels on brand for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he did really well with his puppy co-star as well. Jonathan, the former athlete, is next. He struggled a little bit. He had no shirt on and then a red sweater. Looked nice, had a real nice look, but he struggled with the dog a little bit.
Struggled to make eye contact.
Yeah, it was a lot of like rolling around on the ground and like, look, I like the way he looks. I didn't hate it. I thought they were much worse than his.
Parker, our model. Look, tell me what you thought about Parker.
I thought Parker's was great. Especially the frame where he's holding the dog kind of like a football under one arm and then a cup of coffee in the other. And I was like, well, hello. But Megan thought he was serving JCPenney catalog.
Did you just literally read off my notes?
No, I didn't.
There's a shot of Parker that actually the judges love. So what the hell do I know? Nothing. He's like leaning back and he has his feet crossed like up on a block.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the JCPenney photo shoot moment for me. There is no denying Parker is as handsome as they freaking come.
Mm-hmm.
We get Elijah, and I feel like he was like, I gotta stand out. What can I do to stand out? And he picks a turkey hat.
He even says, I'm going for crazy, sexy, cool. And he picks a turkey hat.
Like Elijah, you have that look already.
Well, yeah, he doesn't need props to like make himself look funny. The first thing I thought of was that Friends where Monica puts a turkey on her head. That's the shape of the hat he had. Like it was like a stuffed turkey hat.
100%, like a cooked turkey.
It was not great. Not a good choice. Stick to Hamilton, bro.
He does finish strongly. He comes back. He does fine.
Yeah. Tyler comes in at one point and is like trying to like give him some advice, like look straight down the camera, whatever he says. And then Tyler takes the dog, and I had to, he loves his dog Rusty, right? So I wonder if he was in this moment being like, I miss Rusty.
I miss my dog.
Ezra comes next. He's another model. And he was funny because he was like fully confident because he knows the job. But then he was like, I've never worked with a dog before. So he was there's a little mix of nerves there too. But then he decides to take his shirt off, and it's like Vicky and Nikki or whatever their names are like melting behind the camera because he's so freaking hot.
Okay, my favorite moment when Ezra comes out is Tyler hands him the dog, and he's like, this is Duke. I don't know what the dog's name is. And Ezra goes, I'm Ezra. Like, he introduced himself to the dog. I loved it.
Yeah, funny. Funny.
All right, next up is Hayden. Now, if you don't recall, Hayden did not retain custody of his dog in his divorce. He's very emotional about it. He broke down. I broke down.
Did you?
You did not cry?
I might have. I don't really remember.
Oh, I cried. Jonathan and Tyler both come in. This was Tyler's like moment for me.
They were really like patting him on the shoulder and telling him, it's okay, buddy. Take a minute.
He's like, what's going on here? Tyler did a nice job.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, in the producer's trailer, there was a lot of woo, woo, woo happening there because this is what they wanted. They knew.
Of course, 100%.
They would break down and start crying.
Yeah, and he gets the shot too.
Yes, and his shot was good. He brought these props in, like his own like travel bags or whatever, which I really appreciated. It wasn't just using like the cheesy Christmas decor that they had available. Like he thought about it, right? Bring your bags. He's moving on to a new place in his life, right? And then they give him this dog, and the shot that was so good is the dog was like wrapped around like his neck. It was
like draped
hot.
across his shoulders. Yeah,
So nice.
All right, we move on to the elimination ceremony, and I like how their elimination ceremony is like cold, icy.
Yeah.
It changes the tone a little bit. They're not
How
warm by the
serious
fire.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I make a comment here?
Yeah.
So Elijah says he's sweating bricks.
Uh-huh.
And I had to stop and think about that. I was like, okay, that's not the saying. Because either you're sweating bullets or balls, right?
Yeah.
Or you're shitting bricks.
Yeah. Maybe they dubbed it
maybe they did. They're like, dude, we can't put that on Hallmark. Maybe they did. I was like, you've messed up your idioms, dude. I don't think this is right. Sweating bricks.
The early favorites, they call out specifically Blake, Parker, Daxton, Ezra, and Hayden. And the winner is
Parker.
Parker's like, that's right, man. I'm a model.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing here. My time to shine.
I have a feeling, though, Parker might just be one note. He might just be a model.
Yeah, it remains to be seen, right? Like, is he just a pretty face? I don't know.
Yeah, you got to give us more acting scenes.
Okay. We get the bottom three, David, Gage, and Elijah. But they give Elijah a break.
Yes.
He's not one of the final two.
Nope.
When David and Gage come out to the elimination, the comments they give them is David, they said, dial up the personality and watch your angles. And then he seemed uncomfortable. David's very handsome, but I think he was the least comfortable on camera of all of these people. And watching the show, I'm like, this is a good challenge. Like, they need to be comfortable. They need to be able to get the shot and move on.
Yeah.
Hallmark is on a tight production deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Gage, they said, lots of personality. A lot of his photos ended up in profile, and they paid too much attention to the dog. But here's what irked me.
Tell me.
Gage goes, my presence is undeniable. And I thought, yo, bro, that's an inside thought.
That is such an inside thought. So my husband and I watch Survivor, and we can always tell when someone's going to go home when they get a little too cocky, when they're like, I'm going to win this thing. I got it in the bag. And then they get blindsided at the tribal. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Gage is going to be going home soon. But I truly think he's the villain.
He did not get sent home.
No, I think they're going to want to keep him around a little bit because...
Yeah, it's interesting TV.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's a pretty face. Honestly, every single person on this show is pretty. David does get sent home. Goodbye, David. Take down your stocking and go home for the holidays.
I wrote, don't forget your mistletoe, David, because he was trying to use mistletoe in his photo. It was just a hot mess. Hot mess. But I can't tell you how much I love this show.
The show is so fun. Episode 1 is streaming on YouTube right now, so you can catch it. And it is coming to Hallmark.
I have the date.
Oh. At least the first 2, right? I gotta drop them all.
Oh, yeah, I did. The first 2 episodes of Finding Mr. Christmas will premiere on the Hallmark Channel on Wednesday, November 13th, starting at 8 p.m.
Cool. So you are going to get a chance to watch this. We'd love to know what you're thinking. Drop us an email, girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com. If you love this podcast, we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You can leave them in any podcast app, but we really love them in the Apple Podcast app. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.